Zander star, Omar Miller. Let's go! Hey Omar, how are you doing?
Zander! Man, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, and you?
Wow, I feel underdressed. Look at you.
I
Suited and
mean,
booted.
I mean, I mean, I mean. Thank
Okay, player. I see you.
you. So,
Looking like the CEO up there. I see you.
thank you. So, I need to be dressed up on every interview I do. Very,
Okay. How many
very
suits you
proud.
have?
You're a very special guest. How many suits do I have? 300. 300.
300 suits? Wow, you should open a store.
Okay, so I just want to say, thank you for joining my podcast. It's, an honor to have you because you're such a busy guy, and I would love, this interview is gonna be very fun, like very fun.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Fire it up. Let's go.
All right, here we go. So, are you ready for the first question?
Ready.
Okay, awesome. So you were the youngest child of seven. You were the youngest of seven children in your family. What was it like growing up with so many siblings?
The best.
The
As they
best.
say in American literature, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. But I think that for me, I wouldn't change it for anything. I loved having a big family. It formed who I was. It informed so many things about my adult life, with learning how to juggle different personalities and learning how to compromise and share and be a peacemaker. And it was an experience that I wish everyone could have, because when you have six siblings, you're never alone. And the idea that you wake up into a world with so many people that you implicitly trust with everything is is something that I wish for everyone, because I think the world would be a better place if people grew up with that kind of love and protection that I grew up with.
Yeah, it's amazing to have a sibling, who has your back and who's always with you when times are, rough and all that stuff.
Times
S-
six in my situation.
Yeah. So you grew up in Anaheim. Did that make you a Rams fan?
No, I was a Raiders fan. I was a Raiders fan. I grew up. I had my family business was in the middle of Los Angeles, and we moved to Orange County when I was a kid, and I never really left my LA mindset. And so I wasn't crazy for the Angels. I wasn't crazy for the Ducks. I wasn't crazy for the Rams, but I loved the Raiders. And then they moved back to Oakland. I still loved them, and then they moved out of state, and they hurt my feelings.
um. So I understand that you played baseball. I'm sure that coaches were begging you to play on the football field, right?
Since I came out the womb, I was always the biggest kid in my class, and I used to be able to run and had good hands. So football's always been over my shoulder. I've never been able to get away from it. Even in my professional career, I ended up doing a football film and a football show.
Yeah. So that's awesome, by the way, how you got involved with football films and all that stuff. So I'm a catcher myself. I play on a
Oh,
competitive travel team for
oh,
baseball.
nice.
Yeah, the Canada Cubs. And so I was just thinking, like, with me and my dad, like, I would not want a guy like you storming down home plate for
Have you
like the
seen the clip of me playing catcher in the celebrity
no,
softball game at the All Star game for Major League Baseball?
no, we haven't seen
Oh,
that
you
clip
got to
yet.
look this up. You got to look. Have your dad pull it up. You'll enjoy this a lot.
Oh, all right. Well,
Yeah, I had a very interesting interaction. Just Google Omar Miller and Cameron Boyce. Rest in
really?
peace to my man Cameron Boyce. Yeah, look it up. You'll this maybe he'll be able to pull it up while we're still doing the interview. Yeah, I definitely can cause some damage. So you don't want me to run into you, but it's funny. I don't. How old are you, Xander?
I'm 11 years old.
11 years old. So see, they changed the rules now, so you don't have to worry about somebody like me bearing down on you. Now it's really safe. When I was a kid, man, collisions were a very serious thing. And I know for me, I was much more interested in causing the damage than getting damage. So there was a chance back then that I would have ran somebody over. But now you're good to go. No matter how big the guy is, they're gonna run out of the way.
So you studied film at San Jose State and played college baseball. Was it your dream to play in the majors? And if someone had told you that you were going to be a movie and television star back then, what would you have told them?
Oh, absolutely, it was my dream to play in the bigs. No question about it. If somebody told me that I would have that I would be doing now what I do, I would have said, "Wow, so that happened after baseball?" I was convinced. There was no doubt in my mind that I was going to be a Major League Baseball player. And for that, that's one of the reasons I didn't want to play football, was because I didn't want to get hurt playing baseball. I didn't want to get hurt playing football that would stop me from being able to play baseball. And so, but then I broke my wrist really bad playing baseball. So in essence, I guess I should have played everything. You can see it; it's still
Oh
busted up.
yeah.
See that?
Wow.
I
Yeah.
played first base and I caught a ball. My best friend threw a ball. It was a routine ground ball at third base. He caught the ball. He throws it first. He throws the ball on the line. I caught the ball, and the ball and the runner arrived at the same time. Bang! Popped my wrist. My hand was hanging down at my elbow. My arm was all up. It was disgusting. Yeah,
Ooh. And did you have was that a long time to recover? Like, did you
it took a
play
long time to
baseball
recover.
after that? Yeah.
Yeah, but not for probably 8 months as far as feeling like myself, maybe even almost a year. It was a long time. I was in a cast for 4 months. It was a really,
Wow.
really bad break.
I was a couple of years ago. I broke my arm by skateboarding. I broke my wrist. It was like so weird. It was like formed as an S. It was
Yeah, it's crazy,
disgusting.
right? How it bends up.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. So like
crazy. It's
it's
crazy. When you
on the
see
out.
it, you can't conceptualize it. Like I remember looking at it like, huh? What? I
Exactly.
was I was holding my hand because my glove slid off, and I was holding. It looked like my hand could just fall off of my arm. So I was holding my arm like I was holding my hand, like trying to keep it from falling off. It was crazy. It's crazy when you see that
Exactly.
in
Like
your own body.
it's so disgusting when seeing it on the outside, but then you see the X-ray and it's like a little crack. Like
Yeah,
it's,
mine was a big crack. They
oh
wanted to
yeah.
put rods and pins and screws in mine, and instead my dad was like, "Ah, it'll be all right. Just put them in a cast."
So I was in a cast for my whole summer that year. So
I know the feeling, bro.
yeah.
I know the
So
feeling.
your first casting call was for an independent movie where you played the part of E40. Were you a fan of his, and how did you prepare for that film?
Huge fan. I had no prep because I had no formal acting experience at the time. So the only thing that I had done to prep was, strangely, I had been prepping for years because I was a huge fan of his, and my brothers had played his music when I was younger. And then I went to school in the Bay Area, which only increased my fandom because he's uber popular and famous in the Bay, especially because that's where he's from. So when I went to the audition, I went in and basically did an impersonation, and they felt it and they hired me. And that would be the beginning of my career, and also the beginning of my film relationship with hip hop, because I would go on to do two more hip hop related films, one of
So
which that was really, really big.
yeah, so that's awesome. You said that that was like your point at your career. So like, at that point, did you think like, hey, like this acting and movie stuff is going pretty well? Like it's pretty good.
I didn't know. I thought it was going good, but I applied the same discipline that you have when you play sports to acting. And I said, wow, okay, so I'm going to do this, but then I have to remain focused on whatever the next thing is besides this. So I've always taken the approach that acting is a team sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say that 8 Mile was your first major movie role? And what was it like working with such a talented artist as like with Eminem and all that stuff?
Guaranteed. I mean, the movie changed my life. It was absolutely, positively insane. And wow, look at this. High speed chase. The guy's going 120 miles an hour on the freeway. Terrible.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, on a motorcycle. I hope he doesn't get hurt. So definitely the movie changed my life, and it changed my life in so many ways because it exposed me to so much stuff. That was my first real winter. You're probably, oh, look at this. He's wrapping it up. Wow, that's crazy. Sorry. Um, so that was my first real winter. I grew up in California, and I went to Detroit in the fall to make the movie, and then it turned into the winter. And I'd never experienced cold like that before, and it was a very life-changing experience. Then the movie came out, and then the movie became huge. That changed everything, and I've been working on and off more or less ever since then.
So are there a few are are there a few like bars that you could rap, rated G because of the podcast, uh from the film?
Nah, man, none of them are rated G. Hopefully, you haven't seen it. That's an adult rated film. So that was definitely an R rated film. So I can't really drop nothing on you.
Okay, so it's, you can't do that, but what were you freestyling or was it scripted?
So here's the thing: in the movies, you have to do each take, and with that director, you have to do each take about 100 times. So in that, you have to do the same thing about 100 times. So there was a freestyle element to it at one point, but then it becomes scripted because it's so, you do it so many times, and it has to
Oh.
always be the same so it can cut together from different angles.
Oh, okay. So you played Private Sam Train in Spike Lee's film Miracle at St. Anna. What was it like working with such a legendary director? And what did it mean to you to represent the historic Buffalo Soldiers?
Great question, man. It was great. The movie that movie changed my life in a couple of ways because to get the role, I needed to lose 70 pounds. The film that I made before that, I was playing an offensive lineman in the film The Express earlier that summer, and I had just the summertime to lose the 70 pounds, and I lost that weight, and then that changed a lot of my life physically. Then we shot the film in Italy, which opened my eyes to international travel consistently, which changed my life on just my perspective on the world. Then you have the top of the top, the cream of the crop in Spike Lee, and I try to learn from every job, every experience. And I learned so much from Spike. And one of my uncles was actually in World War II. So before he passed away, I got to speak to him about it and the pride that he always was in the family and different elements of it I got to incorporate into the film. So this was just a win, across the board. Really was.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so you've been lucky to work with some very talented actors. Do you study or learn off of those other actors? Do you study or learn off of those other actors that you work with? And what do you think it takes to be a great actor?
I'm learning all the time. I'm learning from actors. I'm learning from you. I'm learning from everybody. I think it takes observation and processing perspectives. So if you can look at different issues from different people's perspectives, there's a great chance, and then duplicate that behavior or replicate that behavior. There's a great chance that you'll end up being a good actor. But you also have to have the persistence that helped coming from the background of baseball because you have to have the understanding that you'll hear no more than you hear yes, or at least a certain point you're going to hear no until you start hearing yes a lot. So playing a failure sport like baseball helped me a lot in it. But Xander, you got one more question, dude, because my mom just got her second shot of the vaccine. I got to take care of her, and so I got to cut you kind of short. But give me your best. Give me your last and your best before you go look up
Okay,
that
okay,
footage at
okay,
the All Star game.
okay. So we'll try to find a good question. Oh, there's.
I'm sorry to slow you down, dude.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
it was kind of
Got it.
unexpected.
Anything. Okay. So, are you ready for this one?
I don't know. Lay it on me.
Okay. So you played Ernie Banks' teammate in The Express. there you have been.
Hold on. I got to meet Ernie Banks once. He's Mr. Cub. I played Ernie
Really?
Davis's teammate. Ernie Davis.
Oh, Ernie Davis's
Ernie
team.
Banks was arguably the greatest Cub of all time, though.
Okay.
Anywho,
In the Express. There you have been amazing movies that featured great black athletes like Jesse Owens, Jackie Robinson, Hurricane Carter, and Muhammad Ali. How important is it to you that all these stories are told?
it's important to me, but I actually believe it's important to society at large because until we are all in a place where we're all celebrated for our achievements equally, we're never going to reach our potential as people. And Dr. King Martin Luther King always had a saying about if my brother is doing bad and I'm doing well, guess what? I'm doing bad. And the truth of the matter is life is a team sport, and we have to take care of one another. That's what the Lord intended, and that's what this thing is about. And so for me, telling these stories and bringing light to stories a lot of people just never knew about is important. And it's important to do it in a realistic way so that everyone, even if they don't personally have any interaction with someone from another culture, can have that virtual experience and identify and see that we're all way more similar than we are different.
That's awesome. That's a very great message. So, I understand that you need to go, so go take care of your mom, and
All right, young man, take care of those knees. Good luck at catcher. Thanks for having me.
thank you for joining very much, and we would love to see you if you come back to Canada on
Oh, it's my
your
favorite. But man, this is Canada is my second favorite country.
really.
As soon as they open the borders, you can count on me as long as it's not winter.
Yeah, because it gets pretty cold here in Canada.
Man, I like sunny and 80 degrees. That's my style. So I'll see you in the summer.
All right,
All
awesome.
right, young man, take care of yourself. Talk
See
to
you
you soon.
later. Yes,
Bye.
awesome. See ya.